Greetings, everyone. Oh God, I just wanted to say it like her.
Hello.
So
Hey, boy.
there he
What a
is.
bloody monster.
Monday,
What?
bloody Monday.
Yeah.
Bon,
God damn.
How
tell
are you,
everybody what
boys?
happened with the last show. Tell everybody what you did to the last. I want to know how much time it took you to work on that because it sounds
Oh,
like
no.
a pain in the effing ass.
It was awful. And it took a... It was awful.
You took
I
out
don't know.
20
Was it
minutes.
awful?
Originally, it was 1:48 or something, and then I don't know. I briefly saw it. Maybe the running time was 1:22 or something. You
Yeah, well,
distilled
I
it
had
down
to take out a lot of I had to take
a
out the Rappaport call and our discussion about him, which went for a while, and then the couple of the other stuff that got some copyright issues. So, but luckily, all the Beefus stuff stayed. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
They didn't have a problem
that is
with
crazy. I never would.
They usually don't like that. So I hope everyone enjoyed it, and I hope Monsoon watched it. You know.
Full disclosure's on. It was Sarah that issued the copyright strike.
Oh, of
Autobot.
course.
Autobot wants her back.
She pulled the gun out of
Oh,
the
I
grenade
see.
and just walked out the room.
It was very Beth-centric, though.
Monsoon's fingering
It was
herself
awesome,
right now.
bro. It's there's nothing like starting seeing the cracks on the wall slowly develop. You know, it's
Well, of course, then it was followed up with that Instagram video, which was absolutely that's going to be evidence in the murder
Do you have
case.
that on you, Dennis? Is it still up?
there's quite a few Exhibit A's.
I've got it.
I can
I've got
get
it.
it. It was.
Oh, you got
I've got it.
It was like.
I've got
It was like 3 minutes long.
Yeah.
Oh, 6 minutes, 5
insanity.
minutes. I
I
edited
It's
it
5.
down.
Oh my God! It just kept going on and on and on.
I think she's saved to devise an exit strategy now. I think that what's happened is all those celebrities don't want to be around Howard anymore. I think they realize, after the candle stuff, they don't want to be around him. And Beth's like, okay, whatever. She's kind of made enough friends with some of their wives. And I think she's due for an exit strategy. I think she's going to get a payout, a prenuptial payout. And I think it's a great time to hit the bat chute right about now. And I'm with no hyperbole saying they in no other universe should these two skeletons ever be together.
I guarantee you,
absolutely
I
not.
guarantee you that prenup is ironclad.
Oh, yeah.
There's no stone left.
Well, yeah, but
unturned.
there has to be a payout. There's a payout.
Yes, there's
so
definitely
it doesn't
a payout.
matter.
Well,
Beef is gonna.
Yes and no.
Beef had nothing.
I mean, we don't know.
Beef
what
had
verb-
nothing.
Of course, she had nothing. He's a.
It had
If she
nothing.
gets
So I
one
mean,
house,
anything's better
Dennis.
than nothing.
Dennis,
I
if she
think-
gets one house,
She gets a house.
right, and sells the
Right,
house,
gets a
she
house.
can live for
I think-
600 generational lifetimes over. All right, Bond, launch right into the clips now. Go now, go.
Come on, clip
guys,
one,
I
which
think
is
we-
Howard
I think we should
returning.
do a segment where because we have like freaking Larry Bird and Magic Johnson of drinking over here between John and Dennis. I think there should be like a segment where people ask like legitimate social drinking type of situations. And
Oh, and Dennis doesn't need
Yeah,
my
like-
help at all.
Like let's just say your boss's wife, wants a gin and tonic, but you can't stand that, but you don't want to offend her, and you're hoping that she's gonna get a little tipsy, so you maybe might see a little cleavage. Like what would I do in that situation if I don't like gin and tonic, but that's the only thing that's being, and it's you don't insult your boss's wife.
Ooh, well, you could exactly.
Hey, no.
Let's shift gears. Thanks to Sarah for coming on the other day, and I hope Sarah had a good time. I know she's a bit shy, and I hope she enjoyed the show. She's reserved, yeah. I think she liked the show though.
I'm already
She's
at my
very-
lowest listening to these clips. So I don't know why the fuck you do this. So this is the last episode I will be on because I can't handle this. So
Thanks,
That's
Sarah.
commitment.
Welcome to our hell. She's so
Should be back.
internalizing.
She'll be back for the Christmas show, I think. I got something new. I got a fun fact, and
I
I
thought we
made
were
a little drop for that. Fun fact. You like that?
Mo Alley.
Fun fact. All right. I was looking through the 2015 stuff that I'm doing, and I found a very fascinating thing with John talking about Sarah, and that she actually created Beefus.
So Beefus was created by Horsetooth Beth,
on Dog Shed, and it is derived from the Beavis, as in Beavis and Butthead. A picture of Beth looked exactly like Beavis, and then she combined it with the fact that Beth had beefy thighs. So it's Beavis and Butthead combined with her beefy thighs, hence Beavis.
Isn't that amazing?
Or you know.
I had no recollection. I'm really getting senile. I have no recollection of saying that at all. Not one syllable.
But it was so
Oh,
poignant.
You always say that.
I don't, it's
The way
crazy.
you said it with that emotion, you were so.
Yeah. She actually
emotional.
created that Dame Bethman column. She did it first, just like kind of McDowell stole from us. She had a column called "The Misadventures of Beth Oh Nobody," and she did it like every day. And then the Dame Bethman kind of knocked ripped it off. I don't know what
Lovely.
happened to it. I can't find the archives, but she did. She did The Misadventures of Beth Oh Nobody. If anyone could track it down, Boff. Thank you, Boff, too. By the way, that MFer gives me so many things we can't find anymore. I cannot thank him enough. And you've heard it here first.
Let's have a look at Dan's papers. So this came out.
Jesus.
Good work, Uncle Larry, for
Minka.
announcing it. And this is the picture that Howard created.
Picture.
Radio
Photoshopped.
icon. And he discusses it here, and I thought I'd read it, but I can't get as low as Howard, but my computer can. So I'll just read this
When I
for you.
started painting 9 years ago, I quickly realised I was turned on by painting landscapes that had architectural elements as well. Seems to be my thing. I didn't search for this subject of the core with barns, but when I drove by it, I was immediately drawn in and took a bunch of photographs and began thinking about painting it. It was a daunting task because I wanted to capture all the variations in the warm structure. It occurred to me while I was painting the old and weather-beaten barn that I was feeling sad about my father's condition, and the thought of how much of our world that was once so valuable is being tossed aside. The painting took on greater importance.
Thank you, Howard. And
You're not deep. You're
Oh,
not
that was
deep.
wasn't it?
You're not
Wow.
deep.
What a
That was
fake.
like a puddle deep.
What
Who
a
do you
fake
think
deep
Ghost? Who do you
statement.
think Ghost wrote that for him? He didn't write that. Who do you think wrote that for him?
I don't
That's
know.
not
So-
his speech. That's not.
You know, I'm
his.
glad he took photographs. I'm glad he took photographs so he can run this through Photoshop and make that happen. That's awesome. I mean,
1,000,000%.
you didn't
You can
paint
do that on
that.
your
I'm
phone
sorry,
now, man.
you did not paint that. Yeah, I mean that's Photoshop 112%.
Yeah, I
Is
like
that-
And
is
it's
that
amazing
Melissa-
though that like what Melissa
Go ahead,
Gilbert?
no, yeah, I was gonna say it's Melissa Gilbert's outhouse. Could the more antithesis of this life or world than Howard and Beth? He has never sniffed this shit. This is everything wrong with. This is why. Speaking of 9/11, we're gonna have another 9/11. This is why the terrorists say
Terrorists hate
Dan's
us.
papers. This is why. This is why.
So,
Well-
so let me get this
Well, the
straight.
thing is though, he's
Very
sitting there talking
blackface.
about
He's worried about the old things that are being tossed aside, like his dad, maybe.
yep.
Like, I mean, his
Oh.
dad was literally like
Yeah, exactly.
a
The
Kleenex
irony.
covered in snot. Just
He wasn't tossed aside. It's the opposite of tossed aside.
what
He
a
couldn't have had the
complete
better
douchebag.
treatment at that advanced age.
Oh no, his father, Ben was
No, that's
tossed
what I mean.
aside like a piece of
What-
garbage.
Do you
at the
think
end.
Ben was tossed aside
Yeah.
then?
Absolutely.
Do you think his dad was tossed aside?
Absolutely he
verbally
was.
tossed aside.
Affy, good one.
Charlotte's
It's
Web
like,
was
you know,
filmed in that.
right now, his mom is-
Happy's-
I wouldn't doubt if his mom is
Nah.
a doorstop somewhere right now, being used as a doorstop. Literally.
Well, if he did it, I think it's very good, and I don't care
It's
what anyone
garbage, bro.
thinks.
He didn't
I
though.
think it's.
So
I think
garbage.
Because we've
so
seen
you-
what his real photos
wait.
are.
Well, you don't like it because it's good, right?
No, it's garbage.
No, it's not good. It's
It's
not a real
very-
painting. That's why I
it's
don't like it.
boring.
We've
But if
seen
it
what he can
was-
do.
All right. If it was, you'd,
If it was a
you'd say
real
that's
painting, yeah, it'd be great. But it isn't.
no,
It's,
even
it's
if it was real-
Photoshop. We've already proven that he
It
photoshops
is,
this.
it is
Yes.
what they call
That-
bourgeois.
that's Photoshop.
Yeah, 100%.
About-
You know, the thing is, he has a picture of Beefus, on the beach where you can't tell if it's walking toward us or walking away from us. And then he did a new one where it's on the beach and it looks like it has a raccoon cap on. I mean, he can't draw hands, he can't draw feet, he can't draw straight lines, he can't show the difference between sea and sky. No, he doesn't have this talent. I'm sorry, he just doesn't. This is a
How about what,
Photoshop.
What Shaka Khan says, Dennis. That's the house Beth gets after the divorce.
Nah.
That's line of the night.
classic
I don't think
ass.
it gets-
Terrible and true.
Okay, Vaughn, just out of curiosity, what is it about this painting that you enjoy?
Oh, if it's a real
not a
painting,
painting.
I'd say it's-
It's a real. Let's say it's a real painting. What is it about that you like?
I like the part that I cropped in on the most there. I do like the door. I don't know. It looks nice. The setting. Does anyone in the chat feel that it's okay? I don't know. Someone
it's
on
very
the forum.
basic, bitch. It's very,
one
very
person
mediocre.
in-
It's exactly what
one
someone with
person.
It is
fake
if
depth.
you go
No,
to
if you like it, that's fine. I think what Zuma's show says is actually it's not a painting; it's a photograph process. Is that
Absolutely.
the process?
Correct.
A photograph
even-
process
Okay.
is how it's.
All right, but
Let's
it's
give him the benefit of the doubt that he did paint that. It's bourgeois. There's
can't.
nothing interesting about it. What's
No, it's very
it's a-
mediocre, basic bitch
yeah, it's
101.
not. There's nothing even like the composition is all wrong. You know,
it
it's
does
like
look like
there's
Andrew.
there's no contrast between the foreground, the background, or the subject. It is absolute. And then what's these muted colors are supposed to supposed to induce some
Make
sort
you
of
sad.
emotional, like I don't know, fucking melancholy feeling. It's
Yes.
garbage, bro. It's
This
the
is,
kind of stuff that if you go to the learning annex for a weekend, that's what I expect someone to come out with.
It's Bob Ross blackface.
It really is.
It is.
really is, bro.
All right, let's move on. Dennis, go for it. It's the show today.
All
How
right.
did you feel? How'd
Oh,
you
the
feel
show
about
today
Dennis?
was incredibly bad. Because he went back to the studio and he sounded like he was doing everyone a favor. So he comes in the studio. That's the first clip. Him arriving in the studio and talking about meeting people and seeing people, and yeah, it was really underwhelming. And of course, Blobbin is still hiding in her house, so that's fine.
I love
That's
what
right.
Roger
That's-
Dodger says here. That house is how Howard views poor people, the civilians. That's through his
Exactly.
prism. That's every
It kinda-
civilian house.
yeah.
That's so good.
All right,
So yeah, let's hear this awfulness. He was tired too, really tired.
Dennis, I'm a huge, as you know, I fancy myself a big NFL fan. So I didn't listen to the show today. So I assume we started off with the beginning of the NFL season, right? All the different various TV
Man.
options he had, right? He gave us a nice recap of all the excitement. I assume he must have,
Absolutely,
right?
No, he
I feel
started.
like
Oh, okay.
He started like this, John.
Well,
Not
anyway,
announced.
I'm actually in our studios in Manhattan. I'm here. I came in because Demi Lovato's coming in, and I wanted to be in the room with her and her band.
not gay.
I see the
He's not
drums are
gay,
here.
no.
I see a couple of. What do I see?
What do you see?
I see drums.
He's not gay. He goes into the view with Demi Lovato. What a fruit basket.
What
He's
did you
not
think
gay.
about?
I see drums.
What did you think about this part with Fred, Dennis? Fred's participation.
Oh, so
suddenly we got
all
a
right. I have
spotlight back
I have a
on
thought
Fred.
on this with
Go for
Fred.
it.
All right, so Fred, I have a thought on this because when he's at home and Howard's in his basement, Fred I think is showing up 2 hours late. I think he's not showing up on time because no one can check on him, so he
Yeah.
just doesn't show. And I guess Fred was super angry today. I think it's because he actually had to be to work on time. I really think so. Because listen to this clip. Listen to Fred in this clip. He's not
It was
happy.
good to see Fred.
Yeah, there's a lot of space in this building. I guess since COVID and whatnot, there's entire floors that are vacant. So anybody who wants to move in here, I think it's a good place to hide out.
Wow.
Yeah. How you feeling? You all right, pal?
Oh,
I'm doing terrific.
pal?
Thank you for asking.
Have you ever had COVID?
No,
No. Fred
Nope.
too. Fred hasn't had it.
Have you? Did
other
you
members
hug
in the family
Fred?
have had it, but luckily I've somehow avoided it.
I was happy to see you.
It was good to see you too.
Yeah.
It really was. I mean,
Oh,
you
yeah,
look
and the ass
great.
kissing.
Really? I think
Yeah.
I look like hell.
No, not at all.
When you saw me,
Didn't
did
put
you
on
think-
any weight.
No, but
Not
did
like
you?
a lot of people. I know some people on this show who look like they have man boobs, but I'm not mentioning any names. But I've seen pictures, and
Shots
Fred,
fired.
They
it's
don't
the
look
fat
good.
shaming.
you look
What-
great.
Well, don't you think I look old?
Angry.
No,
Really?
no.
I
And
think
if you do, it's maybe you got the dark hair.
yeah.
You're thin. No, you look terrific.
If you do
There's-
look old, it's
you know
because
what?
you've got the dark hair.
Yeah,
You're
he's-
thin.
Everything's
There's a good
backhanded with
buck-walled
Fred.
lapdog, right, Dennis?
Oh, absolutely,
There's
100%.
an obedient
100%.
buck-walled lapdog.
And look who he's
But
asking.
he
He's
is-
asking Maud, for fuck's sake. He's asking Maud if he looks old. Okay, what do you think the answer is going to be from that? Come on.
You know, you could hear how he was trying to be really nice to Howard, but he was still, there was always that little backhanded stuff because he's irritated that he has to be like there, because last week we didn't hear from Fred till like 9 o'clock in the morning. Like, not a peep, nothing, not a sound effect, nothing. He wasn't there.
Dennis, I think you're onto something too. I think that he's concocted this nutty professor fake persona, this as Colin Quinn would say, a maitre d' from a meth clinic persona that the rest of the staff is afraid of him to know if he's late or not. And he could do whatever he's want. When everyone's afraid of you, no one's going to call you out for being late or unaccountability or not. He could disappear for months at a time. Nobody would know, as we've said over and over again with Fred. The best gig in all of Howard. He is the best gig in all of radio.
Totally non-accountable. No accountability at all for Fred.
And they completely glossed over the fact that Robin's not there, right?
No, they absolutely didn't. Never even announced
They
that she wasn't there.
totally like hot potato that one. They really did.
There's no need for there. There's no need.
There's no need for a period.
Yeah.
I disagree. I want
there
to
is.
see. I want to see that horse
armor
slowly decompose in front of us, and we're not getting that with her not being
She
there.
is.
So yeah. Just
They
my
get
opinion.
into the Cavalcante talk, and again,
What?
this is why I want the escaped prisoner Cavalcante.
Okay.
Isn't it?
Oh Christ! This was all
this
right.
is great though. This is
how this
why I
came
wanna
up though.
hear.
All right, so but this is why it came up though. So Blobbin asked Howard about his weekend, and instead of talking about his 4-day weekend, in his mansion, this is what he brings up. This story. Totally.
I was busy hunting the
ridiculous.
Pennsylvania fugitive all weekend. I'm kind of wrapped up in that one. It is an embarrassment. I mean, this dude, did you see the tape of him like climbing up the wall?
Yeah.
He got out of prison by just sort of shimmying up a wall. And for some reason, we allow prisoners to work out like fiends. So these guys are super strong. I mean,
Now, can we analyze this week?
Wow.
For some reason, we allow them to work out like fiends because there's nothing else to do.
Nothing
But
else to
is
do?
he saying he wants to abolish exercise in
Yeah, all
prisons
push-ups
all
and
throughout
dips were
United
banned
States
from
of
prisons.
America? Yeah.
Exactly.
He's so
the thing is, though-
narcissistic. He literally thinks this guy is going to escape and track him down at 17 Squabble Lane. He really thinks he's in the
Oh, yeah.
crosshairs. If we were talking
Do
about
you
the
think he
insurrection
really
last
does,
week,
or is it just something that popped up on Yahoo News this morning?
but before the Proud Boys are defunct, one last swan song, please, one more insurrection at 17 Squabble Lane, one last time. Just go
Burn the
out
place
that
to the
way,
ground.
Please. That would be the greatest thing in the world if they
So-
went, and the beaches.
And so, the thing is, though, is that he just did all this nonsense. This is a pure bullshit story just to deflect from his 4-day weekend in his giant mansion, and just didn't want to talk about it. I mean,
weekend is
and
the
when he does
show,
talk about it,
Right?
yeah.
Then the weekend is the show. He's
Right.
off 4 days. The weekend is Monday,
Right.
Tuesday, and Wednesday. He's off 4 days.
Absolutely
That's not a
right.
weekend if it's 4 days.
Correct.
I
Part
think
of
it's
this-
Benjamin that said, right? Every week
Yeah,
is Thanksgiving on the show.
And the fact that
Thanksgiving week every
Yeah.
week.
the fact that he was following Beth around with his little camera on his phone after the little brouhaha they had on last Wednesday, and then there was no follow through on that. There's no like, gee, what happened? What ended up happening with the, with that
Nope.
with that little predicament? It's just
Nope.
it's like you're watching an episode of The Simpsons where Homer's like the president of the United States at the end of one episode, then he's back working at the nuclear power plant the next with no
Yes.
explanation. It's kind of that's what the Stern Show is now.
Pretty much, yeah. There's no continuity at all. Every show just basically just something happens and it just disappears into the ether.
Like, wasn't he a
unless
minimalist
it's a gay
for a
bit,
minute?
and then it goes
What
on
happened to
forever.
that? What happened? What's going on with the fact that Ray's now like being like intravenously fed with crystal oil at this point? What's there's so much stuff. Why is his daughter? Who's paying the bills for his daughter living in New York City? There's so much crap that you could be talking about.
Him.
He covers that later, but
We're talking with that. Oh, that all gets
but
covered.
I mean, I'm just saying, it's like
later.
No, well, I understand that, but I mean, a spade's a spade. Who's paying her bills? I mean, there's no way she can afford to live in New York on her freaking gig. No way.
But you know who's paying
And she
them,
got a
dude.
PhD.
Who else would
I know,
pay
Blonde.
for them?
I know.
Why are
I
you
know, but
asking
why
it
don't-
then? I don't understand.
Because I want to hear it come from his mouth.
Oh,
what a
I see.
failure his kids are. I want to hear like how they're gravy training it. How they're basically nepo
No,
kids.
he'll never say that.
But that's
wait,
what
the funny thing is, the funny thing, Xavier, is that basically right now you only think he has one daughter because all he talks about is Ashley.
Yes.
Literally,
only
we talk
Ashley.
about it.
Talk
The other
about
two are not mentioned at all.
Talk about the nutnik that lives in Baltimore that plays on her that gets
You will not talk about
that does the hippie lettuce and play guitar on YouTube. I
And
mean,
you can't bring up Deborah because that'll
there's
be
so much stuff
Grandpa.
that he could really, he could actually make the show interesting if he was legitimately honest. And
No, we
Vaughn,
said if
when
he
you
turned this
say,
into a lifestyles of the
why
rich
would
and
he talk
famous.
about it? Well, to make the show interesting, maybe.
No.
Okay, this is great because Robin does her weird comments again about this prisoner.
You know what's weird about it? The guy's from Brazil, too. Like, if I was in Brazil and I escaped from a Brazilian prison, I wouldn't know where to go.
You're not getting anywhere because you don't know where to go.
No,
That's
I'd be
right.
like, okay, now I'm out. Where do I go? I don't know where to
But
go.
this is how easy life is in this country. If you're from Brazil, you can still figure out how to stay away from the police.
Howard
Well,
can
what?
get from the Millennium Tower to the Sirius building, and it's 1.4 miles away. His problems are far beyond. He's comparing himself to a Brazilian. He can't get to the studio. He doesn't know where Sirius is from West Columbus, West 67th.
Howard Howard couldn't find Radio City Music Hall from Sirius. I mean, Sirius. He's
that's
literally
where
that
that's
stupid.
where it is. That's where Sirius is.
Exactly, but he still couldn't find
Exactly where
it. He would
Sirius is.
get lost.
Let's try Robin again on that
I don't know
line
where
there.
But this is how easy life is in this country. If you're from Brazil, you can still
What an
figure
idiot.
out how to stay away from the police.
Oh. And then,
Wow, really, honey?
And then we get some bad
Jesus.
facts, all right? So this is incorrect facts.
Yeah, well, this guy's a genius. Even remember what was it, Dannemore? Those guys were only out for like
Yeah.
3 or 4
Oh
days.
wow! I just watched that
No,
series.
they were out for over 2 weeks. So he's full of crap. He doesn't know what he's talking about. And then we got crab walk definition. This is great.
They're calling it a crab walk, but I don't think that's accurate. A crab walk, we used to do those in gym class. They're
Oh,
torture.
what is a crab war?
Like you get down like on the floor and you know what he did.
I've never heard the term.
On the floor.
He did like a Spider-Man thing up the wall.
Yeah, it seemed to me. I've seen that in movies before, where people use
my
two
God.
close walls
Yeah.
to edge their way up to the top, and then they hang there. And if somebody gets into the elevator or whatever, then they pounce on them or whatever.
Well-
they're not trying to escape anything, but that's how he got up to the top where the barbed wire
We're
was.
gonna-
And apparently barbed wire was no problem for him.
The fake story is the guy
Oh
with
my
rigor
God.
mortis
I just
and
got
the body-
stupider hearing that again.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you. That's oh my God, what an oh.
How about
Amy
the guy with the body language of RoboCop and the flexibility and rigor mortis is doing the crab walk in gym class. Anyone believe he's doing that?
No.
That
earned it,
is why
buddy.
Fred's expendable.
You earned it. Now, Trump called in, and we've only got 10 seconds of this, but it was bad.
Donald Trump. Hey, Donald. Hey.
Hello there, Howard.
Knock.
We need to build a wall to keep out these Brazilians.
And that's the kind of quality you get, and that was a few minutes of garbage.
That's
Chat.
embarrassing,
That
man.
sounds like.
Everyone in the chat, how'd you feel about that? Yep, go Dennis. What's that?
So you know what that sounds like? It sounds like somebody that's never heard him speak ever, and was told that he's kind of loud and he's from New York. Okay, go.
It was
And
too wheezing.
and we're not going to
It
give you
was-
any content.
How
It had
many
a
how
lot
many
of-
Hispanics and blacks have worked on the Stern Show in its 40 years? By the way, that's
Zero,
where I'm talking
3,
about Trump.
4.
John
Louis the
Melendez,
Board
I
Op,
think, is the only one.
Rasan, who
Yeah,
was
that's
who
why
was
it says
fa-
4.
Rasan was
Yeah, yeah.
grandfathered in from the Pharrell Show. That doesn't even count. I don't count Rob.
You know-
Rasan,
Louis the
Robin,
Board Op, and that
yeah,
was 20
and
years
John.
ago. And John.
So there's your 4 minorities.
If
And no one considers John Hispanic. He was
honest
not.
I
question,
understand that, but still.
No. I know.
honest question. At this point, if they just use an AI generator to do the show, would anybody notice the difference?
No,
No.
no,
I
you
think
don't know.
it
This
would
could
only
be
it could
this
only
could be from
uptick at that
2018 today.
Because that's what it sounds like at this point. It sounds
It doesn't
like
need to be
someone
live. It
programmed
doesn't need to be on in the
into,
morning.
Chat GDP, like whatever it's called. Like, okay, old people having a conversation and render. That's what it sounds like. It's just, it's almost human, but not quite.
Yeah, almost. Hey, and actually, Affy in the comments, no, Gary is not Middle Eastern. He's Sicilian, so he's only part Middle Eastern.
He's Union Dalian.
Like me.
Way off
Yes, Mike.
there.
Does
There's
anyone
no
Google
way. There's no way
Morales?
that you and him are the same race, bro. he looks.
I had better ancestors. I'm sorry.
Oh,
Dude,
no.
it's kind of like you remember the Schwarzenegger and DeVito. When they
Yes,
were twins?
genetic garbage.
Yeah, that's what Gary is, a genetic garbage.
Oh, that was great. Next clip, Danny. We got the leaving the notes.
Next clip.
Beefus.
Oh,
this old
this Beefus. Yeah, Beefus.
tired
That
old
when he
bit.
goes away, how it prepares for him to go away. This is genius. Like he's a
And there's-
child.
Yeah, and there's a
and
bit
then
we
Zoss
get
raping.
as- There you are.
I feel like I have COVID already because I've been running around Manhattan. Friday night, I was with my wife, and then Saturday, she went into the city for a friend's birthday party, and I was alone. And I don't like that, but I was alone, and like I had to feed the cats, and I don't like doing any of that stuff. I like to just be free.
You don't like chores.
Yeah. Beth made all these notes around the house because she was leaving. She goes, are you paying attention? Do you know what you have to do? You have to feed Bella chicken at 3 o'clock, and then you have to open up this can, and you have to change the water on this one's can. And I go, I don't know. What are you saying? She goes, all right, I'll write it all down. So she had to write it all down. And I was all alone. But Ross invited himself over to my place for dinner. We had dinner Saturday night,
Yeah.
myself and Ross. That was nice.
He loves Arrested Development. He loves not to do stuff. He loves to be
All right.
innate disabled.
And
But
this
such
is it.
great. Good job.
That's
Disney.
literally the truth. That
Yeah.
is literally the truth from business.
Yes,
That,
definitely.
alone, except for the staff.
I've a really dumb observation. It's really stupid, but I'm gonna go with it. I've noticed when Howard talks about his quote unquote weekend, he never brings up Thursday, or if it's
No.
he pretends that he has the same weekend you do, so it's only the same days. It's like it doesn't exist. Like he's
Yeah,
doing
man.
He never
Good
talks about.
observation.
I just throwing it against the wall.
Yeah. That always angers me when he starts with Saturdays. Like, dude, you've
Yeah,
been off since
he's
Wednesday
just like you.
afternoon.
He's just like you.
Just like
Yeah,
us.
his weekends
He
start on
just- he
Wednesday.
starts on Friday night.
I mean, yeah, it's like he has like what he works 3 hours on Wednesday. Yeah, okay, that's a heavy lift right there.
Oof.
Come on.
Yeah, Chaka Khan's right. This is a creepy, controlling move. You can't leave me, Beth, because you owe me. That is the greatest. She is the house manager. And there's no doubt about it. You cannot make out. He will not speak to the help unless Beth is the conduit. That's how it goes.
So did Beef have to go and like give notes to the help so they would know what to do with him? I
Yeah,
mean, that's
probably.
what I was thinking. Yeah, I'm thinking he had to give him all instructions. Because what a veal. And the way he talked about Ross, coming over, it sounded like they threw some Hungry Mans. Like he's trying to describe it like they threw Hungry Mans in the oven and sat in front of the TV and watched
Hungry
football.
Man.
Which was completely the opposite of what really happened. I mean, God.
Rice cakes and 4 ounces of salmon and
I was so
Rice
mad at
cakes
you.
and
I'm gonna just
Swanson Hungry
strangle
Man.
you right now. I love you so much. I'm so mad
Nice,
at you.
man. Nice.
Is it? How many times has he hung out with Ross? And do you think that Robin just kind of like she grinds her teeth every time she hears that?
It's true.
Well, the thing is, Robin, you could hear, is starting to really crack because the vitriol keeps slipping out. It's slipping out more and more because he
She doesn't live in
refuses to see her.
Baltimore. She lives an
What?
hour and a half away from where the Hamptons are. She doesn't live in, you know what I mean? Like, it's
I know.
very
Helicopter.
He has
Wait,
all
where
sorts
does she
of
live
forms of
again?
transportation. She lives in New Jersey, like this
New
Jersey
Jersey,
Shore.
down by Tom's River.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
The
where Ross is
helicopter.
from.
Was it a half-hour ride in a helicopter?
Yes.
Oh well,
It's-
half-hour ride. We'll go.
I think I remember during AGT something slipped where they were taking the helicopter to the Newark airport. Dennis, is that how it went?
Yes.
When they were doing AGT, that's what Robin could do in no time flat, and that's what a lot
Well,
of the
not
celebrities
Robin,
do.
him.
Well, getting him.
Because Robin's not going anywhere. That's pretty obvious at this point. Robin's going nowhere. Because I thought she had a place still in the city. I thought she still had an apartment, like got another one.
No, because remember when like they had line issues? They had to
Right.
send someone to her house. It took forever to get there.
Right.
And the
So
guy
she-
came in and the place probably smelled like, like BO and stuff.
Ooh. Oh, like old
Can you
people that
imagine?
old people smell.
Yeah.
That fermenting sweat under the hairy armpit smell.
Ugh.
It's like a fine wine.
Or something. A fine something.
Yeah.
Jesus.
It's like if castor oil had been left in a diaper.
Ugh.
What's the line from Anchorman? It smells like Bigfoot's dick. I bet that's what Robin smells like, Bigfoot's dick.
I think it's worth it maybe someday to go back and revisit. And if anyone wants to, I certainly have it somewhere. Is how giddy and excited Howard was when COVID was officially announced back in, what was it? April of 2020.
March.
Was it March? March of 2020.
March 13th.
He had this
Never
all
forget that
mapped
day.
out. He had this. He was in front of it. He loved every second of it. I've never heard someone sound so excited. It was palpable. He loved every minute of it. He was going to ride that out. And there is no. The show's not going to be better if he's. It doesn't matter. Do you notice anything? We've been playing clips. Is
No.
that any better
No.
than the bullshit from the basement? Than Earl Anthony and Marshall Holman from the basement? Doesn't sound any
He
better.
was like Cartman when he found out about COVID.
Yeah.
Exactly. Oh my
He was
God,
like
I'm gonna
exactly
go
the
home.
same reaction.
I'm gonna cobble that together for us.
Screw you guys.
Just a couple of moments.
I'm gonna stay in my basement.
It was the
Let's
best
talk
day of his
about-
life, literally.
He was getting updates from all these weird friends he has that are giving him insight. Like he has this, like Fauci was giving it to him first before any of the intelligence, and he knew about it before we did. That was the impression we got, is that he's known about this for over a year, and he's been, he's got panic rooms after panic room. I'm definitely going to find that and play it again.
Well, in this
Please.
clip, he's
He loves
panicking.
it.
He's panicking in this clip
This
because
is the Ozempic.
yeah, because he's annoyed that he believes they've found a shortcut to weight loss.
Anyway, I'm so angry at that Ozempic. I hate Ozempic. I hate that people can take a shot and get thin now. It's just angering me so
Well,
much.
eventually it's going to be a pill. They're working on it.
I work so hard on staying thin, and it gets harder and harder the older I get. Now everyone's just taking a shot and being skinny. And it's not
And
fair.
they're so funny when they talk about, you know how much weight I've lost? You didn't do anything.
Yeah.
Shut up.
It's me so Fred, does it make you mad? It makes me mad. You don't care.
You know what? It's like people are taking their lives in their own hands because they don't know what the outcome's going to be with that drug.
Oh, thank God.
Oh,
Fred's
what if-
there.
thank you, King
Imagine we
Norris.
lost
You,
Fred.
Fred.
What would we do if we lost Fred?
Yeah,
All that
Fred.
entertainment value.
How many shots that you don't know any history of did you take, but you're worried about somebody taking Ozempic? Okay, there, Fred. Fuck you,
It's
Fred.
like a PSA from Fred, you know?
What
Fuck
his,
you, Fred.
So what's great is Gary
Fuck
think
you,
that people are
Fred.
taking a shortcut. The guy that has 3 Nepo babies is worried about, is angry at other people's disadvantage of losing weight. Give me a break,
According to
man.
the likes of Richie Wilson and Casey, Howard's had about 25 bouts of liposuction, something like that.
Yeah.
Right?
That sounds about right.
This isn't cheating. Is that not cheating, or how does that work?
No, that's not cheating. No, not
Anorexic.
at all. No. Well, my favorite thing is Blobbins commenting on this. I mean, she lost the deck chair on the Titanic in weight, and running around like talking about how people is crowing about getting thin. Wasn't this the same woman that ran around who was still chubby about this great diet, the vegification of Robin. Didn't she do a whole talk show tour on that?
Will save my life.
Dennis, you the amount of time you think about like turtle wax and calamari all day. Now, how much time do you think Howard spends thinking about weight, anorexic?
All
like,
day.
All
day.
Like the percentage of someone's brain, like all day, like someone who would you say
Like
it's like 90% of his day is about. It is.
Wait.
He is so. I've never seen someone this anorexic. Like this isn't just some hyperbole where you say anorexic. Oh, that's a real serious. He is legit. It is not. It's not good radio. It's not good for. It's just off. Anything I've ever heard. He is beyond anorexic, and it's.
No, I don't think so. I think he's kind of flabby. I don't think he's
Well, yeah, but
anorexic.
he's
But
anorexic, but he
the
doesn't
thought
do
that
any
goes into
exercise.
it.
He's a veal.
Right.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He's 100% veal.
This is a dude. I mean,
Granny
he's got
arms.
professional chefs, and he's still bitching about food.
Every possible advantage.
Oh, exactly. And
You know what?
Talking about advantage. What about his wife? His wife is a nobody. His wife is a total. She is absolutely the antithesis of success. And he's talking
Wait a
about
minute.
advantages.
You know what person I would want to hear from? One of the ex-chefs from Chimneyville.
That's
I
a
would
great
love
interview.
to hear one of those people.
Even if it's anonymous.
Jesus, that would be the greatest interview
I got
ever.
fired for
because-
using one olive. It's like,
I mean,
dude.
Jeremy Harrelson's right. Like 90% is a great
Two
guest. He's
strawberries.
constantly hungry and directs his anger. And it's just the whole show is fat shaming and weighing people. I mean, even like when I first started listening, like, what is with it?
Okay.
He was analyzing Madonna's ass on the Channel 9 show, but not in a way, not in a heterosexual
Not in
way,
a good way.
a jealous gay way. And I'm like,
In
what
a
is
gay way,
with
yeah.
this guy on
If someone posts another update on Monday Night Football, I'm kicking you the hell out of the chat. Please
Oh,
don't.
you
Do not
better
post
hide
scores,
the chat,
bro.
dude. Don't look at
Please.
the chat, man. Hide it, because that'll.
Asking you with peace and love. The
Now,
next person
Howard-
that does it, I'm kicking you the fuck off.
Hey, Dennis, how about Ashley's apartment? She's
Oh
got
yeah,
a new
so
apartment.
this is fascinating because he brings up Ashley, who's now his only daughter, and that she is now living with her husband in Manhattan, and
Oh,
now
I
has a
hear that's cheap.
PhD because she keeps on going to school. Like she went to eight colleges, and now she has a PhD. So she's 31 years old, and I think she's finally done. Maybe.
No, she's not.
No, maybe
That would
not.
mean that she'd have
I
to
went
get a
from there. I
job.
went into the city and I went to my daughter's apartment and hung out with her all afternoon.
How's
My
the new
daughter.
apartment? You like where she's living?
I love where she's living. I'm so proud of her. She got her, she's newly married. They got a new apartment. They're busy. I went in there. I gave some decorating tips. We had fun. I hung out with my daughter for like a couple hours. And then I said, look, I got to go take a nap. I was tired. And Beth was at a baby shower. And Beth was busy. So she probably got COVID. Who knows? I didn't,
Oh,
my
wait a
God.
minute.
My
You're
God.
here.
I know.
You're fine. Did you quarantine?
I didn't sleep with her last night, but that was only because I went to bed early. I was exhausted from my long day. I'm not used to these
But
long days.
Did you have any meals
I
together?
can't stand his
Did
voice.
you-
Yeah.
what-
Can't
We went
stand
out
his
to
voice.
dinner.
Oh, it's painful.
That restrained fucking like she's trying to be like, oh, I can't stand his voice.
So
But why can't he sleep with her?
because
if he
they
goes
don't
to bed early.
they don't sleep in the same part of the apartment.
He just
It's in
alluded
Girls
to
Town.
that. He just admitted that.
Well, no, but he didn't admit it. He made an excuse that because he went to bed early, which, I don't understand that because you
They're
get
in
up
this-
at 6 a.m. I don't understand why you need to go to bed so early when you wake up at 6. I mean, it's not
But
like you're
why-
at the show at
No,
5.
he doesn't, not at all. There's
Wait,
no
wait.
reason for him to get up early
Let's
at all.
break it
Get up at
down
noon,
for a
wouldn't matter
moment.
at all.
If he goes to bed early, she can come in and go to bed when she wants. Why?
It could,
why
but it has
couldn't-
It's all
Girls
about
Town
him, Ed.
upstairs.
But
it already-
he wants us to believe they sleep together.
But the thing is, they let the
don't.
cat out of the bag because Beefus showed its room in the city, Girls Town, all done in pink. I mean, with pink wallpaper, pink sheets, pink bedspread, pink pillows, pink.
To be fair, that could be Howard. You know
He
what?
gets weird though. He gets into this whole thing about how he believes that he used to be attractive when he
Oh
was in
God,
his 40s.
this is disturbing. In
And
his
this
40s.
is the
He was
dark
good looking.
side
Man,
of
you know,
Howard.
you know
When?
Robin
When
Hood
was
good
this?
looking.
This is right now.
I mean, my daughter's wedding, there were a ton of pictures, and she sends me, sweet pictures of me dancing with her and stuff. And I'm like, Jesus Christ. I never was a handsome man, but I should have appreciated my looks when I was in my 40s, even my 50s. I mean, I look back on those old videos from our show, and I'm like, you know what? I wasn't so bad looking.
You look back and you appreciate how you look, but you never enjoyed it while you were there.
Exactly.
These two.
He's 70.
Wow.
Could you imagine the level of vanity if someone's talking the weight and
Yes.
since
I
he's
want you to
70 talking about this.
analyze
If you don't
this,
get the
guys.
physique, if you don't get the physique and mug thing, you were dealt a fucking gargoyle genetic hand. That's all you got. If you don't have the weight and cheekbone thing figured out by now, it's not. You're 70. It's not happening. Shut the f up. Stop. Have you ever heard anyone this ensconced in
rough.
vanity?
I almost felt a little sorry for him there because he's
No, I
mental.
didn't.
That's
not
manic.
crazy.
That's manic.
No,
That's-
don't ever feel sorry.
That's manic depressive. He's
So what? Who
morbid.
cares? You know what? The thing is, he thinks he's still a teenager. He's the most petulant teenager in the world who still thinks he can be hip and cool. But he's a grandfather who's going to be 70 years old. What, in 4 months? And it is just embarrassing. I couldn't imagine seeing any of these guys down at the Italian club that are 70 years old going, I probably should go lose 30 pounds and maybe do a little nose work.
He's
It's
6'8",
embarrassing.
185. Dennis talking like that too.
I know. He's
Yeah.
And his
he looks like a
looks,
scarecrow.
honestly, his best year could best be described as a Batman villain origin story. you
Yeah.
know? Some dude that fell into radioactive latkes or something. And
Dennis, you
and
couldn't
he's forced to
polish
live
that
most of his
turd
life
with,
this hideous beast.
with Rain-X and a power washer. Howard, it
Nope.
ain't happening at all.
There's no rubbing compound at all that can make that turd look shiny. it's
And you know what?
done.
And you know what though? He's to blame because no one makes the focus of his looks more than he does. Like, I mean, everybody gets it.
Bringing
it's like
attention to it, right?
It's
No
like
one's,
when
no
you
one's
were,
thinking
if
about
you were a
your looks.
celebrity in the 90s and you did Larry King's show, you never really stopped to look at the fact that he's basically a gargoyle because Larry never talked about how good he was, how good looking he was. But Howard, on the other hand, he wants to convince himself, he wants to convince everybody that he banged models in college, that he did this, that he did that. And dude, you're just putting this focus on your looks so badly.
But it's also fake self-deprecation. I really think he thinks he's good looking. I think he's been fooled by all the lemmings around him that he actually thinks he's good looking. He's fishing. This is how one fishes for compliments.
So
lay
David,
that out.
You're right.
Yeah,
You're right.
that's
That's
what he
basically
does.
what he's doing.
David in the comments has a beautiful statement.
As usual.
Listen, I believe anyone can be a 7, but he did everything wrong. And he's not a victim of circumstance. He's an evil glutton. And it is rendered him ugly in a way you don't see in any other human. Wow.
I like the way you read that. That was good.
You're
That was
welcome.
great. Okay,
Damn,
that's a wrap. Like and
David
subscribe.
also said up front, I was
We're
thinking
done.
this too, as he wrote this. Brilliant minds, as they say. What's to stop Beth from just making up things like baby showers and blah, blah, blah to get out of there and just have an
Yeah,
excuse?
exactly.
There's nothing. I would make
no.
up every conceivable thing, fake friends. She must. I don't think any of this shit's real. I don't think there's no baby shower. and
it
I would
was
make up over
Couch Sludge's baby shower. So
Whitney
they're
Cummings' baby
Whitney
shower.
Cummings, yeah. So there's probably pictures somewhere.
Okay,
Well, Howard checks.
this
He's like
is
Robert De
yeah.
Niro in Casino when
Yeah,
he picks
yeah.
up the
You know
phone
what?
and goes, I'm going to call the friend right now. I want you to tell her where you were. What did you have for lunch? You know?
Yep.
No
John,
trust.
you have a really good point. In the hood, at least back when, back in the day, there was this thing where if you came home, your hood rat girlfriend would ask to smell your dick.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, and
Mhm.
I think Howard might want to sniff Beth's dick when she comes home from these little baby showers. There might be a chance that someone's plowing that.
All right, let's
Dang.
kick on. Let's
Hey,
crack.
hey, one last thing. Hey, Retard writes, she's a professional student. Van Wilder and Tommy Boy have spent less time in school than Ashley Stern.
It's an arm. Armageddon. Last time I'm playing at this show. Don't worry.
That's okay.
Can we talk about Howard's mum? He's
Oh,
so
the mu-
he's,
oh,
he
we
he
don't
doesn't
have the clip of that,
problems
do we?
saying- Oh yeah.
I wish I was better looking.
Oh,
I really do.
Christ.
Well, your mom said you were handsome.
Yeah, but she's now on. She's so high. She doesn't know what she's talking about. I got her so doped up.
Stop it.
She's on fucking morphine. She's on mood enhancing,
I hate his voice so much.
antidepressants. And
Well,
she's still
why is
and she's
she
still bummed out.
depressed?
She's still
Yeah,
a little bit
I'm like-
Because she's
Yeah.
dying.
Oh,
Are you
Man.
guys finding
Robin,
yourselves
she's
hating
dying.
his voice? Are you guys finding yourselves hating his voice so much that you're not listening to what he's saying?
oh, the chicklets. The
There-
chicklets.
yeah, the chicklets,
Yeah, I
the
knew you'd hate it.
restrained
Oh,
I
with
knew. Yeah.
Darth
With earphones
Kermit,
in?
fucking
Oh my
restrained
God.
Darth Kermit vocal fry. Yeah, I'm not even listening to what he's saying. I
It's
hate his
really
voice.
bad in this
Yep.
on this.
My
today's-
skin's crawling.
He needs
But,
a drink
you know,
of water.
Ray,
you know.
Ray doesn't sound very long for this world because when you start giving them morphine and all sorts of other cocktails, that's
That's like,
usually not a good sign.
That's totally
That-
like
that
Saving
really-
Private Benjamin on Omaha
Private
Beach.
Benjamin.
When they're just going around
Saving
like,
Private
"Oh, no,
Benjamin.
he's dead. No, oh no, give him the shot. Give him the shot. That's basically what Ray's doctor's going. He goes from door to door. Give her the shot. Nope. Smells like cheese. Keep going.
It's just nasty, and don't talk about your mum like that. Don't fucking
Talk about his
ever
dad.
Show
Every
some
time,
respect,
every time
you know?
Ben and Ray live another year, Beth dies a little more inside. And like I said, she's talking to Whitney Cummings, going, "These Stearns live till they're 105. I'm never gonna kick it." Her fantasy was that he
right.
probably, go ahead.
She's
Axel.
doing the math.
Huh? Say again.
She's doing the math as far as like what kind of a life she could have. If he dies this year or that year.
The Beefus.
Oh
did
yeah,
Beefus
yeah,
hire
yeah.
an actuary? Did Beefus hire an actuary to figure out if it'll live long enough to enjoy any of the money?
No.
She did not see this coming, Dennis.
She's
I think
gonna
she's gone,
be.
maybe
she's gonna be like
55.
Fay
I'll
Ray.
have it all.
She'd be like Fay Ray being pushed around a wheelchair with the gay dude as her lover.
Martha
That's-
Ray. That was Martha Ray.
Sorry.
Mark Harris
Okay,
and Mark
whatever.
Ray.
Mark Harris.
The King Kong broad. How's that?
Fay Ray.
I don't. Okay, the King Kong chick.
The King Kong
Um,
chick. Maybe it happened to her too.
That's gonna be Beth. She's gonna be pushed around in a wheelchair. getting
That's when he
flagged
finally
behind.
dies.
Yeah,
The great Cindy Lou
Gay
Who is right.
Papa. Right,
A
thank
gold
you,
digger's
little
biggest
buddy.
nightmare is Howard's life expectancy. That is
Exactly.
the biggest nightmare.
You
You're
know
going
what?
in there.
It's gonna be a Twilight Zone episode. He's gonna outlive her.
I know that's the sick
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
That's gonna
Yeah,
be
I
the
was thinking
Twilight
that
Zone
too.
twist right there.
I was thinking that last month. He could very well outlive her. You're absolutely
He'll
right.
he'll bury it. He'll actually bury it. He'll go to the funeral. Unless he hurts himself, then he won't go to the funeral.
Exactly.
Well, how about the kids? He might outlive like Emily. Their settlement. They're gonna be like Emily's gonna be 65 before she sees a dime. He'll be like 110 before he kicks it, and she'll be like, they won't get any like youthful use out of his money.
Yeah, but Emily lives in Baltimore. I mean, how expensive could it be to live in Baltimore?
It's not Baltimore. I thought it was like outside.
Emily
It was
lives in
outside of
Baltimore,
Baltimore.
bro.
It's not. It's not.
It's not Baltimore. There
She
there
lives
aren't
in
gunshots
Baltimore.
outside the window.
When we wrap, I can prove it. Okay.
Okay.
Chevy Chase, Maryland. She's in Potomac. Real Housewives of
The
Potomac.
Real Housewives of the Potomac.
So, moving along, Howard starts playing. Oh my!
Oh wait,
he
the
starts
Elvis stuff.
playing Priscilla Presley's book.
Yes.
About how she met Elvis and got together with him when she was 14 and he was in his mid-20s. And Howard is fascinated by this. He goes
So-
on a 15-minute Elvis impersonation. I'm
The
not kidding.
irony of this is that Howard was
Oh,
in
yes.
college before Beefus was born.
Gee, Cannon, you know.
I mean, the irony of this is so bad. And first of all, who's talking about Elvis now? Who? The guy's
but
been dead
dude,
for 46 years.
At this
46 years he's been dead.
Like I was a
Right?
baby
Or
when he
45?
died, and I'm an old codger at this point. Nobody's looking for Elvis anymore.
No. Nobody is. I mean,
Well,
it's like
it's white trash fare, right? Let's say Elvis and your
Not
wedding,
even.
and Ronnie's white trash, and the age difference, and Elvis is no statutory rapeist himself. Right? It's
Uh-huh.
the parallels with that.
Good, perfect, John. Because that's exactly what happens here.
It's what a basic bitch would do.
So I'm giving you one Elvis joke with Howard trying to impersonate Elvis.
Well, she says one of the quotes she says was her parents didn't understand why Elvis wanted to spend so much time with her.
Elvis, she's just a 14-year-old prepubescent girl. Why would you want to be with her? I don't know. I'll be honest with you. It wasn't the same once she got pubes.
Oh, that's why I'm only giving you one. They were disgusting. The things he said.
It got worse. Actually, that's the best one.
This reminder. This is the same guy that was making the same comments, not jokes, about Bobby Brown, whatever her name is.
Millie Bobby
Brown.
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
The Olsen twins, on and on and on.
I never got
Olsen
it,
twins.
I was not an Elvis guy. I don't know. I told you it was I was young. Elvis was lost on me. It was the Beatles.
You're a year younger than me.
Yeah.
And I was totally in love with Elvis.
Really? I didn't know anything about Elvis.
Elvis was my first crush.
He really does, Pell. He sounds like Imus now. The tone.
That Imus had something to say.
Low energy, no passion. Imus had something to say, right?
Imus had something to say.
He brings Ronnie on, and Ronnie's not in a good mood. Like Ronnie's
Ronnie's
just like
angry
hey, man.
today.
And Howard hits him with this, which is what you were just talking about. This, John. It's just you could hear Ronnie's heart just go, I want to die.
Ronnie, well, Ronnie is marrying a young woman. Maybe he's a little bit like Elvis.
Maybe it is appropriate.
Oh wow, I didn't even know that.
How much younger
he
is
could have had one of those relationships.
Ron? Is that why you're having Elvis marry you? Because how many years younger is she?
33.
33. Oh, there you go.
Harsh.
Wow.
And again, half an hour with Ronnie or something. Like, it's just not. It's not fair.
It was,
on us.
and the minutia, and basically it was just the minutia of Ronnie going to see this Elvis impersonator who's going to marry him. They picked apart this buffalo till there was nothing left except sinew and bones.
Wait, Dennis, what's more noble, an Elvis impersonator marrying you or Mark Consuelos?
Ooh, that's a toss up, isn't it?
What's lamer? What's more hacky?
Mark Consuelos. I'll take Mark Consuelos for the win.
Yeah.
So, mind you, when Elvis died, Howard was almost 23 years old. What's he talking about? He's a kid.
1977.
It's amazing how that always happens.
Yeah.
46 years ago.
Yeah. He was almost 23 years old. What the hell is he talking about?
I don't want to change the subject, and we can get into this later, maybe tomorrow, maybe like that. So I assume, just like the NFL, right? Howard clearly must have brought the Jimmy Fallon stuff up right after that.
What Jimmy Fallon stuff?
I just assume he brought the Jimmy Fallon stuff up, right?
What Jimmy Fallon stuff?
No mention. No, he's never heard of it.
What a coinky dink.
Fallon. I didn't even know him.
What a coinky dink. He was literally at his house a couple weeks ago.
Oh God!
And Fallon was literally at his house a couple weeks ago.
The funny thing about that the Howard article, which maybe I'll get tomorrow, was just like this. The Ellen, and it's all late night guys. James Corden, how it's and you know who Fallon's influenced, but Dan Schneider's his best friend. It's just
my
on
God,
and on
seriously?
and on. You got that Horatio. Do you guys remember the Horatio Sands story? The grooming of 15-year-olds.
Can I tell you real
Fallon
brief?
was right there with him. No one's bringing that up. I don't want to derail the show. We'll do that tomorrow, but I just asked. I just wondered.
But no, and of course it never got mentioned. No, a friend of a court will never get a negative blast.
Oh my God, Paris Hilton, you're amazing. You're amazing. I love you, Paris. Oh my God.
Can I throw another scud in just for fun? When that happened, Howard was 22. That means that Beth was 6 years old.
Exactly.
And she still sat on the principal's lap.
Yep.
Exactly.
6 years old. That's what, first grade?
Yes.
Preschool, first grade. Yeah, very
give or take.
Borderline.
Anyway, continue, gentlemen. I'm sorry for this.
So I only got 2 clips of Demi Lovato, but he actually asked her this question.
When your mom named you Demi, was it because of Demi Moore?
No, it was actually...
I can't stop just doing this every time with these clips.
See,
I'm going to put my hand over my mouth to not go, Oh God.
So
It's
Demi
so
Lovato's
sickening.
Demi
It's so
Lovato's
bad.
real name is Demetria Devone Lovato. It's a nickname, you nitwit. You utter idiot. You moron. You just
It sounds
dolt.
like the beginning of Laverne and Shirley. Yeah,
Exactly.
Devado,
Jamil
Hopscotch
Shamaza.
Incorporated. Oh, by the way, I need to do a correction. She was 5, not 6. I'm
Oh,
apologize.
jeez. That's definitely
you for the-
kindergarten.
I
needed
apologize
that.
to anybody who might have been
Kindergarten.
inconvenienced by my facts.
Still on
You
the
know what the
principal's
other
knee.
podcasts would do if they would be attacking us? 1 year difference. Fuck Radio Gunk. And he goes to
What
the
about
you know what,
Demi
though?
Moore calling herself
What a
Demi?
fag. You got
Do
your back
you
straight.
take
When I-
offense at that?
When I first met her, we met at a dinner one time, and I was like, "You say your name weird," and she was like, "You say your name weird."
Yeah.
Rich people
That fake
having
laugh.
fun. In
So
the
much
Hamptons.
problem. So much
That
problem.
fake laugh.
So we didn't have the clip though of the really great question he asked the band.
Oh, and what was that?
So he went to them because they played, and he's like, "Hey, have you guys ever seen yourself on video?" He literally asked that. Have you ever seen yourselves on
Oh, it's
video?
so stupid.
This
He
is
asked the
amazing.
guitarist,
Oh.
did you audition? And it's just a boring. Yes.
Wait, my favorite thing I pointed you out is he didn't know what a Jackson guitar is, Mr.
Yeah,
Rock
I
and
know.
Roll. He'd never heard of a Jackson guitar. Oh,
It's a
okay.
Jackson. That's a Jackson Delabate, Dennis.
He literally was trying to make himself sound like a contemporary of Lovato. He really was. He was
I know,
trying to
I
make
know.
it. He was like 32 years old.
Even with
It was-
even with that Kimmel crew, it's always so funny that he's at least 15, 20 years older than everybody else when they're walking down the beach, and he's at the most.
Bro, he's got a couple of decades at best.
Exactly.
That's
best case
funny.
scenario.
Everybody in that room was like 15 years younger than him at least.
And the other thing is that nobody, he never brought up, that she could lose 20 pounds or 30.
Oh God,
that never came up. No,
No,
imagine that the
do I
fat
see it?
shaming goes away when you're a celebrity.
he-
Interesting.
He eviscerated her for
Quinky dink.
decades straight.
Quinky, and he's trying to get into the wedding. He once again asked when she gets married if he can go to the wedding. I swear to God, he
Wow.
did that.
Did you see
Jesus.
that? Did you see that dialogue that Al Cervix wrote in the? He predicted what the question was going to go.
Yes.
With
Yes.
then he wrote, Debbie, would you say that in a sense, you prefer the name Debbie because it reminds you of the word semi? In other words, because of the complete relationship with your father, in a sense, a semi relationship with the name. Did that speak to you right there?
He
It's
actually
not that
brought
far
up.
off.
He actually brought up the phrase "father hunger." He actually
Yeah.
used it today.
Oh no.
Jesus, I mean, it was just
Oh,
like.
yeah. She was the
Oh.
right guest, though, Dennis, wasn't she?
Oh, I know.
For him.
She's
riddled.
batshit
with-
crazy. She's
got-
batshit crazy.
He's
That is a
just having
nutty
her on
girl.
now.
What?
He's just having her on now.
I know.
And
It's
he's
almost over.
eviscerated her for a decade straight. I have many, many clips to prove it.
Well, we're gonna get to them,
Let's
but
get
who
to
wants
those
to
because-
see? Who wants to see the Instagram cat video, which is just-
Sure, it gives me a chuckle. It makes me angry.
So I trimmed
Does
it
all
down
those things.
and zoomed in a bit on some.
Look at this cat, honey. You got to give the story. Tell everything.
Well, this is Mr. Squishy. He came to our program.
Mr. Who?
Squishy.
Squishy or swishy?
Squishy. He came to our program this morning. The family said that he didn't like the newborn, so he was brought to us.
So they had a baby and they claimed that the cat didn't like them.
Unfortunately,
Evil
he
human.
came out of his carrier. Will you feel this? I can't get this off.
What is that, Matt?
It's a mat.
Wait, he's nervous. I don't
No,
want to
he's
make
fine. But this, I need to look at this. Feel this.
Oh, he's all
Honey,
mad.
I want you to feel
So he
this.
wasn't- I will, but I
Look
can't.
what I'm gonna do.
Go slow. Oh my God.
Hey, look, it's a new wig.
I've already done one side, and look, I can't.
So what do you think happened here?
He was completely neglected. Look at this, and it's pulling at his skin.
So how do you get rid of that?
I have to cut it off.
No,
I would
you
like for you to
shave it
feel
off.
this.
No, that's not how you do it, you dolt. No.
Can I start by the question everybody wants to ask?
Uh-huh.
Why is she wearing white after Labor Day?
Does anyone want to answer that in the chat?
I'm
it's
sure
adult.
everybody's thinking that right now. So I thought I'd throw
Why
that
is it
out there.
dressed like it's living in Little House on the Prairie?
Because it's always the 4th of July at 17 Squabble Lane. That's why.
Is that it, John?
There is no calendar.
There's
There
no
is no
calendar.
days of the week.
It's like Neverland and Peter Pan.
She has no reason to know what day of the week it is. She has no reason to know what month it is. It literally could be July for all she knows. And by the way,
Touche.
that was a
Touche.
51-year-old woman speaking right there, Cindy Lou Who. You're right.
51
If you
years
just
old.
like take her voice and play for someone who knows nothing about this show and ask them how old they think that voice would be. But you would think that is a middle schooler. And we say this all the time. That's a 51-year-old woman speaking there. It is crazy.
And they get weird here. She keeps asking him to feel it, and then he snaps at her right here, and you go, is that what you're really like at Howard? Because I was like surprised. He gets like really.
Okay. Hold on, everybody.
Was this
my
filmed on
goodness.
August 31st? Says all day.
It's like a brick.
Yeah.
Oh, what
And
a
look.
beautiful cat.
But wait, look. This is all hard. This is all one piece. It came off.
Oh my God! Oh, the poor
That's not
cat's
his
going
wig.
away.
That's actually
Yeah.
his wig.
Look at this.
Oh my
I
God!
would like for you to hold this.
Honey, why do I have to hold?
Yeah,
it?
because I want you to feel this.
Yeah, but why? You know, why do I look?
All I have to say is
Let's get Mr. Squishy. Let's cut some more furrows.
this is probably 2 pounds. No, I can't because it's too close to the skin. I need to get a
Oh.
professional groomer. But it smells and it's disgusting. And to me, neglect is abuse.
Wait, let's see Mr. Squishy. Never mind you. Look at that.
Hi.
Wow, what a cutie.
Yes, she's
Oh.
manic, little girl. Yes.
See.
That's keep up that fake.
So heartbreaking.
More write-offs, guys.
So
Keep
that's
up
what
that
you
fake
got. With
persona.
Persians, you got to brush them.
This
Remember,
means
it
he's
was
never
dogs.
been brushed in his life.
In 2008, it was dogs. Now it's
But I
cats.
don't
Okay.
want to.
Let
You
him
know,
eat a
just,
little.
I'm a cat fan at 45.
Look at that cat food. That's way too much cat food, Dennis, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Oh.
And but the
Look
thing
at
is,
that. Did you see that bowl? You
Yeah.
can't feed a cat that much.
but wait. Here's the bigger problem with this. This cat is obviously hungry because of everything going on, and instead of leaving the cat alone and just let him eat and relax, no, the big monster is there using giant scissors to cut fur off a cat.
But she loves animals, man. She loves
Animals. It's all about the animals.
It might be okay to
Animals.
do that because they're just going to use clippers and shave it to
Yeah.
the skin.
Oh, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to use a
Yeah,
clipper
so
with a guard.
Man,
And
I'll
just
give her a
shave it
shit.
down.
They're just going to shave it all off. So cutting
Yeah,
it with scissors. This
start again.
video is she's trying to go viral with this. I
Yeah.
think like
I
this will
mean-
get. Oh, Beth deals with a horrible case
Yes.
with the cat.
She's just
you know.
stressing the damn thing. I mean, that's all she's
Yeah.
doing.
And they're painting themselves in a really horrible light with this video. I mean,
When
I
don't they,
hope it
Dennis?
doesn't go viral because they look like two nuts. I mean, seriously, two.
Yeah, she looks.
insane people.
Pibble Girl said she looks manic, and I completely agree. And leave it to me. I always agree with Street Skirt. This is scripted. This feels like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard apology video for the Australian dog smuggling. It's that stilted and forced. It really, if ever it was scripted, right?
But even if it's scripted, Beefus is really not having it.
It's
I mean,
always about
She
her,
starts
bro.
crying. She starts
yeah. Oh
crying.
well, it's because it's not
her.
about
Make
it's not
it
about it anymore today.
It's not about look. If you know anything about animals, okay, you're stressing the fuck out of this cat.
Yep.
Just leave him alone. If he's hungry,
Yep.
give him some food. If he's
That's
thirsty,
too
give him
much
some water.
food.
Let him
It's
acclimate
double.
to this new environment. Then you make an appointment with your bazillion-dollar vet shaving cat guy, and you take him in. I mean, come on.
Let's not lose sight of the fake
One
occupation.
clump.
She has to keep the persona up for the
It's
write-offs.
not good.
It's always about
If you believe this is
He's not in
legitimate,
good shape with this.
Oh my God. Gastronics. Gastrionics.
All right, should I end this video?
Oh, I didn't know you were still.
Oh, I've been videoing
yes,
the whole
you did.
time.
Oh my God.
Yeah. She
Did you
knew.
post the long video?
I don't know.
Are you getting upset?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Oh, fuck.
Are you crying?
I'm
Notice-
really upset that somebody let this happen to this cat.
I tried to stay on her face
Oh God.
because, God,
Wait, don't stress him out.
she's losing it. She's.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
honey,
Well, you moms of 3.
This is all one man.
Look at this. She's losing her mind.
Anyway, this is what we go through. But this cat is going to be a beauty. Anna, you okay?
It's really bad.
No, it isn't.
I don't know how.
You don't know what?
Yeah.
Bro! What's with you?
He's thanking me.
Yeah.
Did you
All
hear?
right, I'm going to stop the video.
She said he's
Anna, you
thanking
okay?
me. Did you hear that?
It's
Yeah,
really
yeah, he's thanking me.
nuts,
no,
bro.
he's trying to get away from
I don't
you.
know how.
She is nuttier than Chinese chicken salad now.
Oh God.
Leave the fucking cat alone!
Oh, look. He's thanking me.
Yeah.
No,
All right, I'm
no,
going to
he
stop
isn't.
the video.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Hey, I do have some advice for them. You should do a net series on this. You should call it Dr. Low IQ Medicine Woman.
That last.
Actually, it's
scissoring,
dressed like
was-
that.
John. John,
It's
make a
already the clothing.
scissoring joke, John. You haven't done a scissoring.
A scant 2-hour Heron Whitney coming is going to be scissoring on Jerry Seinfeld's couch. David goes, I bet Beth put some poison in the matted fur because that's why she's so insistent on him touching it. That'd be great.
Exactly.
That's the move, David.
Contact poison.
Can we not gloss over the fact that this germaphobe have this stray cat come in, leaving his diseases all over his apartment?
Yeah, that's how you know
Yes.
the germophobia is bullshit. You would
Exactly.
never have- yeah. Or having Benji on your show, or Sal and Richard. That was it's
Ooh.
been bullshit for years. The germ.
David.
I
David
just like to
again,
point
my
that out.
God, he is coming in strong tonight. I'm no Sigmund Freud, but I'd say that the matted fur is representation of her being held hostage in an abusive marriage, and that they're trying to cut off the matted fur of her own life.
I wish they were that deep, David. They wish they were
Little
1/80th.
emoji eyes, a
David,
nice
my
touch at the end.
Yes. The moon eyes. Nice.
Can you imagine him writing that thoughtfulness? He's very thoughtful. I love.
He is
this
very
guy.
thoughtful,
Yeah,
much more
great
thoughtful than
bloke.
any of us.
Speaking of
Jeez.
David doing the soundtrack for Tiny Toons, which is true. And
Wow.
New York Yankees 96 writes, anyone remember Tiny Toons back in the day? Yes, I do. They had that character of a weird little girl who would go around squeezing
Yes,
animals.
I'm
It's
not-
just, oh, that's a great.
Oh,
Elmira.
That's pretty spot on.
Her name was Elmira.
Oh,
she-
nice,
she
Dennis.
Squeezed,
Look at
squeezed the
these guys.
hell out of animals.
That's a Steven Spielberg production, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, yes, it is.
You got it, Dennis. Out there, Hattori Hanzo backs up on that. Elmira, good job, Dennis.
You're welcome. I have some very useless
Cree
knowledge.
Summer, Autobot knows the fucking Cree Summer, voiceover extraordinaire with Shaka Khan. Cree Summer voiced it. Good job, Autobot.
Isn't it something though that Monique is right now exploring, like where the birth of civilization was created, and we're here talking about a cat?
I know.
and his
We
mats?
couldn't be doing less important work.
Cleaning out the computer.
Yeah.
Action. Cut. What do you want to start with, Bon? Let's go with what's the Demi Lovato medley
Denny.
of Howard
Denny?
eviscerating Demi Lovato for 10 years straight. Jealous. I didn't realize she was in America. She was a judge on
The X Factor.
The X Factor. Right.
Oh, that was important.
Is that
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Demi Lovato? That one?
Yeah, well, here's the crazy thing. I found this today in my archives. Did you know that she was the conduit to the best phone call in the history of the Stern Show? Dan, the Illini fan, basically played off Howard going off on a little bit on Demi Lovato. He made up a contest that there was a vote, best judge in the history of reality shows, and Howard claims he won it. And then Dan, the Illini fan, is on hold when he does this. And it leads to Dan ripping on him in the ratings at America's Got Talent.
Yeah, that was
And
one
you
of the
cannot
best
play
things
this
ever.
clip enough. I don't care how many times we play it. It's the greatest phone call.
Absolutely.
It is probably one of the best. Here it
Anyway,
is.
they did a
It's the
survey.
same show.
Who is the best judge on television?
Uh-huh.
And the winner is, first place, me.
Wonderful.
Second place was Demi Lovato, which is...
Well, geez.
Which kind of makes me think the fucking poll is a little strange, but I don't care. I'll take a win. A win is a win. And
Yeah, you don't want to lose to Demi.
I am the best judge on television. I agree with this poll.
Second question, how much of a salary cut you going to take if you do come back, since the ratings are 20% lower than last year, and you're primarily responsible for the dip in ratings?
Well, number one, they said to me that they felt that the show was revitalized because of me.
Well, then why did the ratings...
Well, there was a couple of reasons, and everyone was upset about them. First of all these shows are getting a hit. The general feeling around there was that I actually helped the show, that the show... They were really concerned, and that the demos on the show were really, really strong with me.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they thought it was... Well, listen, you're trying to bust my balls. I get it, Dan. But, the bottom line is they've asked me to come back for a reason. Not because... If the ratings went down because of me, I don't think they'd call me back
there for
from
a second?
expensive hire.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, first of all, he had a 4-year contract. That's the only reason he came back. And I have a second question. Is that Dan from Dan's Papers? I mean, I'm just wondering.
Not with that
Get the hard-hitting story.
Mr. accent.
No,
How great is Dan there? He's sitting there on hold, and he brings up Demi Lovato, and he kind of calls an audible, and he goes right into that whole thing. They let him linger for quite a while. It is the greatest. He did about 3 of them, I think, over time. And I haven't heard of him.
He did a couple. I think he was back. He left, but he was back on Dog Shed. I think he was a lawyer.
Yes, he was on Dog Shed. Yes, he was on PayPal.
I'm pretty sure he's a lawyer.
Bit. Yep.
So he's a smart cat.
Oh, he is a lawyer, yes.
It's good that Howard gets it, though. Like, he knows he's shitting on him. So I appreciate that Howard does have some brains. Like, he knows that this guy's trying to wind him up.
Well, when all your calls are Marianne and Bobo, everything looks like a...
Hold on, sorry.
No, go ahead. Fuck me. Go ahead.
Howard got bamboozled and now he's trying to say
expensive
face.
hire.
Or are they going to pay you $15 million?
Hey, there's been no mention of a salary cut to me. They said they want me back.
$15 million and a bonus. You're not lying. You're telling the truth.
Why would I lie to you?
You lie all the time.
All right, how about this? If I go back, I get a raise. Yeah, I'm not Jay Leno, fucknut.
When you
I know my value.
Contract, you said you got a raise, and that's bullshit.
That's not bullshit.
Oh,
What are you, Dan? Are you in the room with me? Have you seen my contract? Do you know what my contract is with AGT?
What? I know it's less than last year. That's why.
That is not true. Yeah, I make less money than last year because I work 3 days a week, but I got a raise.
And how do you figure?
How do I figure? I looked at my paycheck, you fucker.
What? Oh. That made no sense at all. I love that argument because Howard is so stupid. His argument made no sense. If you working less days, you said you're working less days, so you get total less money, but then you're making more because you saw your paycheck.
He also thinks the serious no accountability clause accounts carries over to AGT, where you're brought. They bring the show to New York. You kill the ratings. Their budget's killed. They can't do anything else. And then why on earth would you get a raise after that? You couldn't have performed. And then you're not even getting what you think he's going to be. You're getting this sterilized.
And remember,
Marcy Turk version.
AGT made the giant mistake like Sirius and everybody else. They did a 4-year deal with him. That's the only reason he stayed on for 4 years. It was a 4-year deal. He was coming back every year for 4 years. And they did not, and because they got sold a bag of goods, they were stuck with him for 3 more years instead of being
able to move on. And what they didn't realize, Dennis, and we kind of talk about this, is that that superfan had turned on him a good 2 or 3 years before that contract got signed. So you're not bringing them over if you're going to jack. And again, it's that generation that now is in a position of power to hire their idols for these shows, and that's how this should happen. Even if it's Kimmel, if it's him, and that's how he has a deal with the devil in that sense.
Yes, exactly. God damn, the hubris on him.
Demi is a Karen. This is pretty good. This is really good.
This is good. I didn't hear this initially. I don't know if you remember this, Dennis. This is from like a year and a half ago. And as the kids say, a Karen. I think Sarah used that word. And this is what the Yenta. And so he gives a definition of a Karen, and he goes off on Demi Lovato and says that she's everything wrong with what a Karen is.
And you talk about I mean, what's with kids today? I mean, it's a whole different fucking attitude. It's like, you mean you walk into a store and you see sugar-free yogurt and it gets you crazy? The 28-year-old singer and actress and recovering bulimic went on Instagram with a tirade against the Los Angeles frozen yogurt shop, saying their sugar-free options were triggering for people like her with eating disorders. She also called them diet culture vultures, whatever that is. I mean, really, do you really think the world is set up for you? What kind of parenting do you get to think that the world should revolve around you?
He had her
I left that yogurt store and didn't get the yogurt that I wanted. And then I had a hard time the rest of the weekend. To be totally transparent. And that's probably something that nobody wants me to say. Like, I don't know.
Right.
But I'm human, and I talk about my struggles. I may have disappointed some people, but I'm not coming after a small business as someone with a lot of followers. That's not what I'm doing here.
You talk normal.
I'm happy with what Howard said.
He
there.
had
I'm
her
with
on
Howard.
today. Can you believe, Dennis? That's the same broad he had on today.
Wow. Yeah,
this
that's
is like
now
a year ago.
Amazing.
God, that was only a year ago. Oh my God.
Was she going after what? Pinkberry, probably.
No, it was a local yogurt shop. It wasn't even like a
Really?
chain.
'Cause,
It was just a
Pinkberry's
local
shit in LA. I love that.
just a local yogurt shop. I remember that because he went on and on, just banging on her constantly that she was just an entitled bitch,
and he's right.
You know,
What
Karen.
did you do with the Karen definition? Why'd you take that out?
Because
he and Gary
we know what a Karen is.
No, I don't know if we did. The way they describe it is about as insulting as it gets.
Oh, whatever.
How about
you don't have? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
The attention whore she is.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my God, what a disturbing
clip now,
individual.
This is a different one. Yeah, this is like within. They're all within like a 10-year phase. Like one's from like 12, and then one's from 16. It's just the last decade. Every chance he gets, he
Here
goes
she is
after.
performing her new hit, Stone Cold.
Oh!
Ooh, take it down a notch. Oh my goodness. Oh boy, is she fucking loud.
My school is singing.
So
that is a big voice right there. Wow, that's a girl who wants to be heard. Yeah. Oh, please notice me. I'll take your singing over hers any day.
So you know what's so funny about that is today when she sang horribly. I mean, it sounded like you took a cat and you dropped it in a bathtub, and the way they scream, that is literally how Demi Lovato was singing today, and he was going, "Wow, that was really moving." Literally worse than that.
She was up in the morning. It's too early for anyone to sing, but
well, I understand that, but she was terrible. It wasn't even bad.
I wouldn't go on his show if I was a singer.
I agree. I agree.
I'm not going to sing at 7. Fuck you.
I agree 100% on. I don't know why I don't know why this show's. It shouldn't be on in the morning as it is. If you're a musician, you're going to go on and sing. What do you have to gain from that?
But it was
Especially
so
that
weird.
People listen to it.
But it was so weird because they had this interview and it ended at 10:35, and then the show went off the air. There was nothing. The interview stopped, and then the show went off the air.
Yeah.
Literally, it's just like no goodbye, no nothing. It just stopped.
Yep.
And it was so weird. But,
Unceremonious.
Just dumping. And you think, the thing is, we always say they should, this recorded, and it wasn't. He was just a terrible broadcaster. But if he had pre-recorded it in the afternoon, maybe she wouldn't have sounded like two cats having sex.
Exactly.
I mean,
this show has no business recording musicians in the morning. It's the worst, it's the dumbest idea in the world. Shouldn't be on in the morning anyway. It's the dumbest. There's no point for this to be on early.
Stupid.
No.
If you're gonna do this, right? Why do that if you're gonna do this?
I've added that guy's line as a drop.
You lie all the time.
We're gonna need it. We're gonna need it.
Was she Valderrama, guys? Demi Lovato was Valderrama. I didn't realize
we got everybody though, bro.
Yeah.
Mandy Moore. I mean, he was sticking it everywhere.
He's a short one. They crap on her song Skyscraper.
Yeah.
Who is Demi Lovato? I saw her on the Teen Choice Awards.
Right.
She's not even that hot. Like Simon usually gets some really hot chicks out there. Who is Demi Lovato?
We got to send these to her.
Doesn't she?
She was.
I don't even know who she
We
is.
gotta pull up some of her music, see what she's up to.
You make me want to jump off a skyscraper.
Gee,
This is a guy.
We got to send these to her.
He's almost 60 when he's making these comments about teenagers.
I know.
Think about that.
That's disturbing. That really is disturbing.
I mean, legit. He's in his 60s.
He's in his 60s talking about little
What
teenagers?
Pop-Tarts.
Why didn't he bring up about her being chubby today? You had it right there. You could have
Is there anybody in all of the media and or pop culture this two-faced, this ridiculously pathetically two-faced, where you could just turn on someone in a year and it's in the sloppiest way possible, where you just have it all recorded and can throw it in his face? Does anybody get away with this shit?
No. He's the
He's
only
worst.
one. Literally.
We need to send her all these clips. I don't care if it's after the show. I don't care if she just
send it. Just send it. Please,
just
send
so
it
she
to her.
hears it. That's
Do
fine.
it on Insta.
So she doesn't do it again.
I don't think she will. I don't think she'll ever be back on that show again. I mean, it was.
How long was the interview, Dennis?
An hour and 25 minutes because it started late.
Interview.
It started late. Like, it was really weird. There was like a 20-something minute break after he had Richard Christie in for some horrible filler, and then Tan Mom some horrible filler.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
9/11, Dennis.
Yes.
The great Kive96 today in your little Mocketeer thread had a great observation that I had never quite. He's the first one I know that's made it this soundly. Have you noticed as the years go on, he dry humps the sort of Badge Bunny, Stolen Valor, dry humping of 9/11 is less and less as the years go on. And what Kive said is the greatest observation. It is because everybody that's germane to that story is on the red flag list, and you can't bring them up.
You can't
So
talk
you
to them.
can't,
You can't talk about them.
right. It's all the Howard TV guys. It's Casey. It's John, and blah blah blah. That is the greatest observation. That's
Scott
why
the
9/11
engineer.
doesn't come up. Scott the engineer. Yes.
Huge
Robin
part
and
of
Scott.
that.
Yes. That's a Kive effing one of the best observations we've had on the show in 10 years.
It
We've been doing
segues
it for almost 10 years.
perfectly into the Sony hacks, as bad as 9/11.
So this is the thing, Dennis, with the real 9/11 idiot with Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Yes.
I don't think I ever heard the clip. I just read the article and we covered it. This article came out 3 months before we did our first Radio Gunk in 2015.
Wow.
So we might have even talked about it. So this is the thing where Dennis, what is he compares Sony to 9/11?
Yeah, the Sony hack, them releasing all the private information of all these celebrities and negotiations to the equivalent of 9/11, where the Daily News then absolutely drops an atom bomb on him.
And they picked up on it and said, "What are you doing?" And what's the real fear, Dennis, is that Howard's salary gets it. He's worried about his own.
Exactly.
The whole thing was Seth Rogen and James Franco's salary on these movies got out there. So all the budget and what they made, and that's Howard's biggest nightmare, as you knew, is money.
And the big part of that was that this was for what was that, the Team America?
Yeah.
They were terrified to release that movie, and a part of this the release of this was thought to stop that movie from actually really getting released, because they were a little too politically incorrect for the studio at that time, because they were trying to move into China. They were trying to make the market in China, and it's very, very touchy-feely with China and North Korea.
That one movie the
other one,
the dictator.
Seth Rogen and James Franco.
Oh, different. Okay,
We learned this in the hacking controversy that the movie was like $40 or $50 million.
It was
to make.
40. I think that's before tax credits, so it technically knocks it down. The hackers didn't release all our tax credit information. maybe that's in the next
But
batch.
they released your salaries.
Yes.
And Seth, I'm sure that did not please you, and James, that did not please you. I mean, the idea is it embarrassing to you guys? I mean,
the fact that I'm talking about it is fucking weird.
It is weird, right? I mean, now you might as well.
It's stolen information. I think it's fucked up that anyone's fucking talking about it. And I'm okay talking about my shit, honestly, because I don't fucking care.
Tell you what I said this morning. I said that this attack is no different than a 9/11 type attack. They stole this material. It probably was North Korea. They want to fuck with Sony. They're really pissed off.
Yeah.
It's outrageous. The president should have announced immediately, we're under attack.
Oh, my
I expect
God.
The media, I'm not kidding. I expect the media not to report this stuff. Amy Pascal should not be fired. She shouldn't even be judged on this stuff. We have to give this all a pass so that the North Koreans do not get what they wanted out of this. Am I correct?
I do think it's fucked up.
Isn't that crazy? I never heard it.
Over
initially. I
the
just
interview.
read
Yeah, it
stuff.
was the interview. I knew it was the movie with Seth. I just couldn't remember the title.
Yeah,
But
it's a
yeah, it was
crappy
about.
movie, dude.
It was
Don't worry
making
about it.
fun of the little midget guy in North
But
Korea.
everything's a ulterior motive with him. What's he
Oh, yeah.
really worried about?
His
shit's
salary.
gonna get out there. His own shit. It's always going back to him, and that's what's really frightening him in this scenario.
A whole
Yes,
house.
a whole house and the cat goes sit right in front of me. Yes, I know.
Hello. Oh my God, John. Next.
The movie was called
That's worse than I thought. I never heard it the first time, and I sent you the article. I don't know if you want to show it. That the Daily News did it. You don't have to
This
show
is
it. if you don't want.
9/11, idiot.
Yeah, this is not you idiot.
The movie was called The
great.
Interview.
Yeah,
The Interview. The next one, what I have left, I believe it's the Casey Armstrong medley where he goes. So he runs back to Mount Sinai, Port Jeff, and Howard, of course, goes gay and tries to make him wear a dress, and he just rages against the staff. And I just put the best moments of him screaming at Robin in the studio video.
It's really long. It's really long.
How long is it?
7 minutes.
Oh
or
my
something.
God.
Each clip is like a minute long. Just play whatever. What else do we have to do?
Sleep.
Oops, sorry.
Somebody just called and said that on CNN. A second plane just crashed into.
Stop it!
A second plane.
Wait a minute. They are two buildings, and that is lower.
So it's a terrorist attack, isn't it?
That's what they're saying.
It's got to be.
Somebody just called.
Oh my goodness!
A second plane might.
Now, the World Trade Center has a sprinkler system, right? So that it's not going to be.
So Howard made this. They made this as a feature for.
This is
This is Howard TV. Yeah.
Oh God.
Are you serious?
For Howard.
That's for regular fires, not an explosion.
This is an airplane driving right into the building.
You know how much fuel is on a plane?
They have loaded
with jet fuel.
Listen, when they build it, they don't plan
They're
on
showing-
planes driving into it. They don't.
They're showing Casey being laissez-faire about it. He's
Yeah.
kind of rolling his eye, and he's off to the left. I've never been more proud of Casey than right here.
Exactly.
I told people I was at the Pentagon.
See, I thought this was going to happen on Y2K. That's why I stayed home.
Y2K.
Hey, they scared us with Y2K.
Oh my God.
Thoughts though. Casey yesterday, as soon as the attack happened, he said, "Look, Howard, I got to get out of here. I can't be in the building."
Well, what was fault? I fault him.
No, you don't.
I fault him. And I will ridicule him when he gets back.
Why?
Because it's going to be funny. That's why.
Thinks it's going to be all right.
Casey, we all decided you are to put on a dress.
Yes.
You go put on a dress.
Always
find a
dress
dress,
drag,
girl.
always
Go
go
put on a
gay.
dress.
So what makes everybody here so brave? Because they were hanging out. Why are you guys so brave?
Because we came in and did our jobs.
Yes.
Don't talk to him.
Oh, you can't see that.
Well, we don't hear you.
Talk to him
We don't hear you.
until he puts on a dress.
Listen, what makes you so brave? You abandoned ship and never showed back up.
What are you talking about? I'm here today.
Today, where were you yesterday? What have you done?
What have I done? Same as you guys.
Right.
No, at least we are here trying to get things back to normal.
Oh, you're trying to get things
hiding
back
in
to
your
normal?
bunker.
You're hiding.
You're
Oh, yeah,
hiding
that
your
really
mother's
helps.
Skirt on Long
Yo,
Island.
stop it.
Your
You be
mother's
quiet.
skirt
You
on Long
stop
Island.
it. Robin, you be quiet.
Under
You
your
have done
mother's
this. Hey,
skirt.
have you been down there? Have you
You
been
were
down there?
hiding behind
What
your
are you
mother.
talking about? Hey,
You
Robin.
were hiding
You got a lot of money. How come you haven't helped out?
You're
How come
hiding
you haven't
behind your
Oh,
mother,
you stop.
baby.
Shut up.
Baby.
Shut up.
You baby.
Shut up. Nah.
You baby.
Shut up.
Get under your mother's skirt. How did she let you out today? How did you find your way under her petticoat?
Oh, funny, Robin.
Put on your little dirndl skirt.
Goddamn mouth. You don't know anything.
Where's your hoop dress?
Where's your
Why don't you
skirt?
go help out? Why don't you do something?
Where's
your
your hoop
skirt?
dress, girl?
Talking about, I went down there last night. What did you do?
Where's your skirt? You didn't go anywhere last night.
Go down there?
No.
Okay, you tell me what I did.
Nothing.
All I know is Howard
You stayed home with your mom.
when the bombing occurred.
I could watch this for hours and
He's
just
absolutely right.
comment on
Casey's
it.
pushback is way better than even I remember. His point about Howard was, you got to remember this time in Howard's life. So it's right after the divorce.
Mhm.
He has nowhere to go. He can't go back to there is no Long Island. He doesn't have a Hamptons house yet. He has to be here. And he's getting, obviously the unlimited security. He's a mile and a half away from the Millennium Towers. And he's acting like he's, posturing as some effing hero. But Michael Moore, he's got nowhere to go. He can't go back to Long Island. And Robin. Robin and They did nothing. They did absolutely nothing. If anything, they stole Sarah's donation to their 9/11 fund. She couldn't track it. She couldn't make a paper trail.
So, the other part is, though, didn't Blobbin run away with Scott the engineer in his car?
Yes, that comes up later. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, the balls on her.
Yep.
The balls on her. They made 0 donations. They did nothing to help. Nothing.
And as we were talking before the show started, someone posted on our site the clip of Robin calling everybody on those planes cowards. So take her criticism for what it is.
Oh, she's a sea monkey.
She's a scum of the earth.
And Shaka Cohen, thank you for helping me with what you did. You're a legend.
Agreed.
Casey was out of this building before
He turned to me. He goes,
I saw him on the elevator. He left before I did.
head for the hills. Talking about it.
Wow.
Casey's scared of the Arabs. I'm scared of KC. What's that say about me?
Casey, you still on Metrics? You gonna get your body in shape?
Yeah.
What do you,
For what?
For what?
Yes.
I have to get to a lower floor.
Yeah, that's what he told me too. That's true. He goes to me, Howard, I'm going to have to leave now. I go, well, where are you going? He goes, I have to be on a lower floor. I would have been here alone.
So you had to stay then?
I did. I didn't have to. I stayed because I thought it was the right thing to do.
Yes. No, that's not true.
I'm not going to leave.
People wanted to listen to
No one's going to change my way of life.
And we made it here yesterday.
No one's gonna change his way of life. That's funny.
We were here.
Yeah, well, you live in the city, don't you?
You said
I
to
could
him?
have got to Long Island.
Yeah. I came from Connecticut. Robert came from Staten Island. Stop. You guys are all right. You're so great. Everybody's great because they came in here and they yelled.
Hey, dude, I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something.
It makes no difference.
Yesterday.
He's right. Who cares if he's there?
I walk out of my apartment into the hallway.
Mm-hmm.
I smell this sickening smell, like this plastic burning smell.
Yeah, this is a
And
rare
I'm like,
look.
okay, my building's on fire. Something's wrong. So I try to call down to the desk to tell them. Phone still isn't working.
Look at the wig.
A lot of the phones are still not
Yeah,
working.
the wig's bad.
Look
I'm
at that.
actually
Ooh.
like in the elevator with my hand over my face thinking when I open the doors it's going to be... I mean, I never smelled a smell like this in my life. It was like, get downstairs and I see all the doormen and everything out front. And you go out on the street, there's this smell that was so strong. I mean, mass explosions. My daughter's still doing in Manhattan. Let her go home to Long
Is she
Island.
having classes? Are they
This
still
is
doing
Emily.
that or anything?
Well, supposedly there's class today.
Nothing below 14th Street.
Yeah, I don't know. Supposedly her class is above 14. Who knows? So
He doesn't
she's
know where his
hanging out
daughter's
there.
school is.
Wow.
Did you tan yesterday?
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't
You
get
tanned yesterday?
I watched TV and on the way back I stopped by.
How great is that?
Wow.
I also went to the gym too. You went running, didn't you? You said you went running.
I did.
He was in Manhattan.
I
when
was
he
here.
came to work.
Where did you run?
Where did I run?
Yeah.
Last night I went down there last night. He ran
Yeah, sure.
ran
Where
down
did you
to
run? You
the
ran out
market.
by your mom's house because you stayed with your mommy.
Did your
I was
mom
here
hold your
last
hand
night. You
while
got back.
Robin, shut your goddamn mouth. What are you talking about?
Mommy,
you don't know what goddamn.
While you ran.
You know what? I want to scared, mommy. I'm scared. John, shut your goddamn mouth. I don't want to hear what you have to say or what anybody else has to say. Because everybody's so freaking brave in here. They haven't done a goddamn thing.
Yeah, what did you do?
Wow, he's got balls to stand up to
absolutely
that
right, though.
attack.
But he's dead on right.
What did they do?
But
Nothing.
it'd be hard when they're going at you.
not
He doesn't
teaching-
flinch at all.
You would think that the Middle East came from them. They did nothing. And like I said, they collected for a 9/11 charity. Sarah donated to it, and she couldn't find out what he pocketed the money, as far as we know. What happened to it?
I wouldn't doubt
what was
it.
the ending result? There was no closure on that. What money did they donate? He's absolutely right. What did they do exactly? Because
Nothing.
they're here. This is so Howard Summer can be executed. He wouldn't compromise his summer. He's got to get out of there exactly the same time. There's nothing brave about this on any level.
Jesus.
What are you talking about? I went down there last night.
The only thing you could have done, the manly thing to do is to stay here and broadcast. Paul Zahn here. Go reporters. Help us. The same thing. What are we doing? What are we doing? Go reporters. Go reporters stay here.
Okay.
Go home with Scott to get here.
A driver left.
Why didn't you just stay here?
At least I didn't run to Long Island and hide my mommy.
You went to a different island.
She went to her home and came back in.
I came all the way back in. I came all the way back
She
in.
wasn't crying to go to a lower floor.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I was here up on this upper floor.
Because God knows reason for
mommy.
it. Robin, shut your goddamn mouth.
What do you mean there's no reason? Tell me to
for
shut
it.
my
Yeah, I'm
goddamn
gonna tell you to
mouth.
shut your
I
mouth.
stayed here.
No,
I get to run my mouth.
Shut up!
I get to run my mouth.
Casey, you know how many people called and said that they thanked us for being on the air and helping them? You are a fairy.
It doesn't make a difference. Who cares what they say?
Yeah, what? Oh, shut up, John. Don't even. I'm gonna be afraid of you. You ran home. John, I will go. You got a vagina. John.
What is it, John?
He doesn't even have a vagina.
Casey.
A vagina has
All right. Calm down. All right.
John, shut your mouth. Don't even come at me like that.
Watch that lawsuit,
Easy,
Howard.
guys.
Watch
Look
that
like I'm kidding.
lawsuit.
Easy
We're
does it.
afraid of him?
Easy, yes, Easy does it, Casey.
Roddy, hold that guy back. I mean, hold that girl back. He'll kill you, man.
Yeah, John has never hit a girl before.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Wow,
Lauren Marie
look at
got
that.
Lauren Marie got taken too.
Oh, she got
can't do
taken
it.
also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Lauren Marie and
Oof.
Sarah have to have like a mutual lawsuit, a joint lawsuit.
There you go.
That'd be great. That would be
Class
great.
action.
Class action 9/11.
22 years later. Let's do this.
That's what Howard
Scowl.
Stern. That's what Howard Stern does to you. That look on the face.
Yeah, exactly.
Puts you through hell.
I love what he said. He goes. So it's not okay to escape to Long Island, but it's okay to escape to Staten Island. Which is a rhyme. That's a great line.
It is a
I didn't
great
hear that
line.
the first go around.
I initially thought that was going to be really long, but that was great, John. Awesome, man.
Thanks. Hey, retards, right? In retrospect, don't we just wish that Casey just went postal and just killed them all right in that one moment?
Yeah, it was,
Yeah, I know. It's
And
like,
then ran home to Long Island. Just took them all out. One fell.
Hell L. Always
Oh, he totally
hell
I know
L.
he can.
I mean, who's going to protect him, Ronnie?
No one. He's the security.
Exactly.
He's the security.
We're done.
We're done.
Anyone
thank
got
God.
anything else? Anyone want to say?
No, I think we're good.
Yay! And thankfully, I'll miss Wednesday's show totally. Oh, I'm so happy. I'm
This
so
Wednesday?
smiling from ear to ear.
Tell us about this. You're going for tell them.
I'm going to be heading out to a giant Mopar show, which is old Chrysler products.
What is the acronym of MOPAR, Dennis? It stands
It's
for something,
motor parts. It was actually from Motor Parts. That's
okay.
Literally what was on the boxes, and it was just Motor Parts, and they called it Mopar. And I'm gonna have videos of it because I'm going drag racing, and I'm gonna have videos of the drag racing, I'm getting ready for drag racing, and all the weird
Nice.
sights there. And best part of all, it's supposed to be like 75 degrees for a high.
Hey, Dennis, quick question, because I know
Yes.
everybody's. Will there be flash action? Will you be sneaking in adult beverages?
No, I'm gonna be driving a car at over 100 miles an hour on a strip.
Just beer then?
That beer's gonna get warm. One thing I can't fucking stand is warm beer. It makes me fucking puke.
Is it Dennis Hopper?
No, there'll be entertainment at night, but no,
Really?
definitely not during the day.
We're gonna go. We'll let
yeah.
Dennis have the last word tonight. Good night, guys.
And as always, remember to take your classic out because you will make someone's day when they see that car.
Hey guys, thanks for hanging with us tonight. Please join us for any further discussion at RadioGunk.com in the forum section. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at RadioGunk. And don't forget to like this and subscribe to us and hit that little bell so you know when we're doing a new show. Thanks.